Now the object is to combine multiple shapes so that they articulate as something else. Well, first of all, let's do this shape right here, just this little triangle, so I can illustrate something very quickly. I'm going to start here, come through to here, and then I'm just going to draw a shape that looks like that. And let me do that again, but in a Now, obviously that's a problem because it's over the top of my layer. But if I come over here to the layer palette, I can click and drag that whole layer down until you see this double line between the other layers. If I let go, then it sends that layer behind it, and now that looks just fine because all of this is covering that up. There's no reason ever to try to butt stuff up against each other if you can make it overlap. I'll give you another example. If I'm going to do this shape, actually, let's do it this way. This first shape, I could really probably just go like this with, right? And I'm going to toggle it like that so I can see, because now the next shape, and then I can come over actually here, and click here, here, a little bit of a curve there, and then, now I have to keep those clean, but here, I can just kind of come up like this, right? I can make those shapes just like that. The reason I can do that is I'm going to have another shape that comes over the top of those that will make it very clean. So I'll select that one and toggle it. Now I can get a little darker orange, maybe this color. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and get maybe, actually I'll keep that orange, but I'm going to add a little bit of black to it. Okay. Now I'm going to come right here, I'm going to click, I'll come down here and click there. Then I'll come up to about right here, and then I can come right over here and click, click, and finish up right there. Now, when I go ahead and change these back, you're going to see, oh, but I can't quite, I'm going to have to hide this layer for a second so I can select that and swap it back. And now you can see you've got this three-dimensional part. The only shape that we were really concerned about and how it would look was this one right here. Now I can come back in here as well. I've got to make this shape, so I'm going to select this. That will load that color. It's a fill color. Start right here. Come down here. And then over. Get rid of that extra handle. Now I can come up like this if I want, because I know that there's another shape that's going to go on right here. So I'm okay. So I'll swap that over for the time being, and I'll load this so that I have that color selected. I'll push my command key, always just getting back and forth to the white arrow. Now I'm going to come here, click here, here, here. Now it doesn't matter anymore at this point because I've got this great shape that's going to cover it up, and I can actually come in here like this and just get rid, just cover that whole thing up because I have another shape that's going to go over here. Okay, so I'm going to turn this one back the way it was. Now I have that. I'm going to take this color right here now, and I don't even really have to look at it anymore. I can just go like this. Now it doesn't matter where this comes, but I am going to bring it right up over here. Oops, and I've got to go a little bit lower so that I don't have some of that color offsetting there. And then finally, to get back to this darker color, I'll come here, bring it straight across, come up here like that, because I know that if I click here, I can go like this. and make that follow around like that until I have that shape going on. Now this looks a little odd right here, and that's fine because I'm going to have a shape right here. This is actually going to be coming from this point through to here, like that. And then this shape is going to be coming, from here to there. Always behind it. I'll Shift Command A, which will hide that a little bit off here. Probably should have brought that over here a little farther to hide that. And so now I'm starting to get a certain feeling of depth with it, of being 3D. I have to finish this shape, so I'll start here, come over here. The only place I had to be worried about was right here, because this hides everything else. If I got rid of that, then it's a real mess. But by keeping that on there, it allows me to hide everything else. Okay? So you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to go in and do that. Now, part of the assignment is the craft. I want it to be well crafted. So you're going to have to zoom in close in cases like this, and you'll look and say, oh gosh, these lines aren't lining up. So I'm going to have to select that line, click on my anchor point, and drag that till it intersects, like that. Now I know that seems picky, but that's part of what I want you to do. I'm going to come in here. See, it's not quite lining up, so I've got to get this, drag it so it goes there. Now one way that you can make this work sometimes a little easier is if you go to View, to your outline. That will change it all to a bunch of wireframes so that you can kind of see where all of the different objects are. So in this case, I can click on that point and drag it right to there. You'll see if we zoom in close just how that's perfectly aligned with it. Let's go back to the... And to get back, you'll just, to transfer between them, go to Outline or to Preview. And Outline is nice because it will allow you to be very, very precise about where those points are. So I can grab this and drag it over there and hope that it's right. Or if I go to View Outline or Command Y, I can click on that anchor point and drag it until it's directly over the top. And I'm going to be in great shape. So we'll zoom out. Let's check some of these other places here. Got this, yep, we're a little off here. So I'll select that. Now I can either go to my wireframes or I can go here and see that. That's fine. This doesn't matter, of course, because we're going to be drawing a shape right here behind it. Like that. So, but we would need to go in and say, oh yes, even though we thought we were really close, I've got to get closer. Okay. You'll come in and just correct all those. These will be very important. If I see that they're not lining up, it will hurt your grade. Okay, so you've got to have them line up. And sometimes if it doesn't work the first time, what I'll do is I'll deselect and I'll reselect it and I'll move it out so I can see it from a distance and then move it in. Sometimes easier to do it that way than to try to move it just from the spot that you had it at. Okay. The other thing I'm going to look at with craft is just how well they're shaped. Now we thought this was shaped pretty well before, but if you see it's kind of squishy right here, and look at this O, we've got a little bit of a point right there and it's a little lumpy right here. So I want to come in here and I'm actually going to lock my 3D layer and unlock my name layer and make sure I'm selected by what color they are. That will help me to select it. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to drag this just a little bit farther like that so it's a little more curved. Now we're going to see a problem that appears right here. In this case, this isn't quite out far enough, so I just have to select it and drag it a little bit farther. I'm going to zoom in here, got to align this, and now I've got to come back to my name, and I've got to just adjust these so that my shapes are just a little better crafted. So it becomes a little more round. It's still got a little bit of a bump there. I need to pull this in like that. Now you're not allowed to use the pen tool for any of this. I mean the pen tool, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to use the any of the shape tools. All of these shapes have to be drawn with your pen tool. So, and I can tell the difference. So you'll want to go in and just really work on them and make sure that the shape that you're making is well crafted and looks good. Otherwise it's going to end up causing problems for you as far as your grade. Okay, so you'll want to try to do your best and make sure that those shapes are really looking nice and well crafted. There's no reason that they shouldn't be, because you have the ability to go in and make all these little micro adjustments in order to make changes and make sure that everything's lining up. Okay. The last thing that you want to do is this. After you're done with your whole project, take that template layer and drag it to the trash for a couple reasons. One, it's ugly. Two, it requires extra information in order to be able to save it. And then when you're done, you'll go to File, Save As. You're going to call this Assignment 1, and then your name. So in this case, my name is Howard Fulmer. Okay. Now there are a lot of different formats you can save it in. Illustrator is the best one. It's the native format. EPS is fine. Don't worry about that too much. But PDF is another version. People who don't have Illustrator can still view a PDF file. I have Illustrator, and so right now I want you to save it as Illustrator. But your next project you will have to save as a PDF file, and so we'll talk about that as it comes. So in this case, save it as an Illustrator file, and don't worry about all of this right here. You'll hit OK, and then you can go ahead and quit. And here's your assignment, and you will now need to go in when you're done with that and email that to huvu@uvu.edu. All right? Hopefully this has been helpful, and we'll look forward to seeing your projects. Talk to you soon.